Okay, so today is get a little work done around the cabin day, and more so collect some wood day because we are running really low on firewood. Tomorrow we may go, should I mention that tomorrow we may go over to John's place? Today's a nice sunny day. It's still cold, but the sun is out, which makes a huge difference. It's still like minus 13-ish. Feels like minus 13. So the plan for today is we have a lot of dead trees around the lot that we can use for firewood, and we also cut down a lot of trees while we were building the cabin, and all the trees are kind of just hanging off other trees, and they're all just cluttered around over there in the front. I'll show you that in a second, but we're gonna go over there and we're gonna clear all that up, or at least clear some of it today. Yeah, we're just gonna have fun around the cabin. So this is our wood pile firewood situation right now. It isn't much at all, and we still have a couple of weeks of winter left. So we're gonna gather some wood. We have all our equipment and we're ready to go. It's chainsaw, power for the chainsaw.
Yeah, this is not ideal. We need a real chainsaw.
No, I'm not trusting you with a real chainsaw. So we have a couple of dead trees. We got one here. We got one way over there. See it. It's a big one right there. And then we got all of this that we cut down when we were working on the house. So all of that stuff, all that needs to go. You cut like 2 pieces.
Yeah, that took like 10 minutes.
Took like 2 seconds. I'm gonna work on starting a small fire because we need to, maybe it'll be a big fire. We need to burn all of this stuff behind me. We're not gonna get through all of it today, but I think even if you put a tiny dent in it, it's gonna be a good amount of leaves and branches out of our way. But yeah, that's like all that we're dealing with. There's more on that side.
It is stuck between these 2 trees.
Why don't you, hey, hold on, why don't you cut this branch off? And then that may give it some wiggle room. You gotta cut the branches off.
Yeah, I'll have to split this somehow.
Try that.
This reminds me of a cartoon.
What cartoon? Oh, and then you go flinging the other way? Excuse me, sir. I need this. So our lake was frozen a couple of weeks ago. Actually, just last week. We came down here and then we could walk all the way out till there. But now seeing those cracks form, I don't feel so comfortable walking out there. It's a shame, really. It was really nice walking out over there, but I think winter is going to end soon. I think we're going to get ready for spring. So fun fact about Kala. He loves getting the ice from the lake and like munching on it. Just a little bit about the Jeep. We did attempt to replace the shocks and put in our spacers last week, but we faced a couple of challenges. One, the ground was very uneven, so every time we tried to jack up the Jeep was moving a little bit, and it was a little dangerous. And then another thing was we didn't have the best weather, so that was a challenge as well. So we were trying to drop one side of the axle as much as we could so we could try to take the spring off. But then we could not drop it far enough. If we were able to get the shocks and the end link off, then maybe our axle would have dropped enough. But we tried and we tried. We used WD-40, we soaked it for a while. We used a heat gun. We tried a couple of things, but the bolts would just not come off. We could not get the end link off. We couldn't get the shocks off. So we couldn't get the spring out to replace, put in our spacer. So we couldn't do that last week. So we just wrapped it up and we decided we will tackle that another day. And thanks to everyone who has left all your ideas and suggestions to deal with this situation. We have plenty of ideas now and we're going to get it out one way or the other. Even if we have to cut everything out, we will managed to do it. We bought new bolts. We did also look into some mechanical aspects of the Jeep this week. We took it to a mechanic, a friend of ours, and they were able to help us replace the brake pads and also look into that steering leak. So that's something we're working on as well on the side. But yeah, that's it for a Jeep update. We'll keep you updated. Psst. Kala. 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 Hello, boss. Okay, so this morning we're heading over to our friend Johnny's place to work on the Jeep. If you remember, he's the one who helped us with the metal roof. He's got lots of tools and hopefully like a nice level spot to work at. So, and he's also a mechanic. Anyway, we're going over to his place to work on the spacers and the shocks. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this will be the last time we are trying to get those things done. Gala boy, what are you looking at? Waiting for your donuts? Okay, so we've arrived at John's place. We got one tire off. We're trying to get the shocks off now. How is it? How is it doing? Okay, the ancient shock is off.
Underneath this, I think. Yeah. So when we take this off, there's something inside.
Figuring
right?
how to take the shock off now.
There's a screw and nut inside. Yeah. We undo that and this thing.
Fun fact, just start filming.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's slow, the camera is slow, but we got the spring off. That's the main thing.
Cheers. Yeah.
He's so good when he's at home. He listens and everything, but when he comes out, he's just too hyped.
Okay, well that's just because he's excited.
That's true. That's true.
Where'd you go?
Uncle Matt.
Don't mean much anyway, just it's good.
Just putting some anti-seize on there.
Yeah, that's good. Don't squish that rubber too much. Yeah.
If anyone's watching this, please buy us one of these. Yes!
One-man army.
Time for the back. Now this is the scary part, right?
I don't know if it'll be too bad. We're hoping not.
I like your positivity, John. I really do. So we knew the back was going to be a challenge. We're having trouble getting the bolt off the shock, and we're actually going to try to see if we can heat it up from in here, because there's no access to do it from underneath. So we're going to try to heat it up, ignore the mess.
We will get enough access from the bottom if we get the fuel tank off and the plastic,
Okay.
off.
We might have to do that if it doesn't work.
Yep.
Okay. So we got lucky. It's coming off.
Well,
One out of two.
Look at the other one. We have a spacer on this side. We are working on the other side now. We had a bit of a challenge getting the spring on this one because the spring actually broke off, so it's missing a piece right there. But we managed to get the spring on now, and we're going to do the other sides, the spacer on the other side, and then do the shocks on both sides. Let's go. Okay, so instead of working around the fuel tank, we decided to cut a hole in the body and go through this way. And we're trying to get the other shock out.
Yeah.
Okay, the shock
Wonder if
is
we're gonna
off.
have to find another bolt another longer bolt.
Oh, interesting.
Boom! So we managed to get both the shocks in there. You guys did this other one really fast.
So don't forget your stickers, you gotta put them in the window.
Goes on the shocks actually.
Is it?
Yeah, but no way.
Oh, come on, Aldo. You have to do it. They sent you stickers. Well, we finally got the spacers and the shocks done. We are so happy with how it turned out, and we did have just a little bit of trouble with the back spacers, but not as much. We figured out a way. Thanks so much to Johnny and all the tools that he had, mainly the blowtorch, which we used for pretty much everything, because that's all we pretty much needed. We just needed to use some heat and almost all the bolts came off. And just in the back we had to also cut out those holes to get better access to the bolts. One of the rear springs did break. That was an issue we had to deal with, but we just put the spring upside down and just somehow managed to put it on there. We'll have to look for an aftermarket spring or a spring at a junkyard or something like that and then replace that one spring, but everything else was pretty good. We're really happy. One more thing to scratch off our list, and yeah, that's about it for this week's video. Like this video if you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave your questions, suggestions and comments in the comment section below. That's it. Thanks, bye.
Like this video if you like this video. Subscribe to our channel and give us some money on Patreon.